Using AI will destroy your SEO, or it'll be the reason you succeed this year. Let me explain. Historically, Google's been pretty cut and dry about its usage of non-human written content online. All written content had to have a human author attributed to it. That was a huge part of EAT, expertise, experience, authority, and trust. There's scaled content, and then there's AI-assisted content. Now, scaled content is essentially the practice of publishing a large amount of content all at once, either through AI or dynamic Python scripts, or SERP scraping, or content stitching. A lot of those pretty old school tactics. The problem is, and this is what a lot of agencies will sell you on, scaled content works for a little bit. That's the problem. It'll work for about maybe 60 to 90 days, and then depending on the situation, you will lose all of those traffic gains. And then you also run the risk of getting a manual action on your Google Search Console, because as of March 2024, Google has added abusive scaled content as part of their spam policies. So it's one of those things we definitely do not recommend people to do, regardless of how people might sell it to you. AI-assisted content, on the other hand, is unavoidable these days, but it's not necessarily bad. AI-assisted content has helped us propel editorial efforts really into the future through data-driven insights, helpful automations, those types of things. Gone are the days of you giving your writer a couple keywords on a spreadsheet and saying, use these in your content. AI-assisted content has really helped propel those efforts out of the dark ages, I like to say. Google actually has pretty specific guidelines about AI-assisted content usage. For example, they want you to disclose in your editorial policy when you're using AI-assisted content and why you're using it. Even further than that, some people will include on the blog post if a particular blog post or piece of content was written with the assistance of AI. They do that to be in compliance with these rules from Google. But the problem is, I have found that some readers tend to not engage with that content as well. Readers generally don't want to see that a piece of content that they're reading was written with the assistance of AI-assisted technologies. So the question really becomes, how do you use AI-assisted content without being in violation of Google's policies, but then also not deterring user engagement? Well, a lot of that really depends on you, your team, and your overall organization's willingness to really evolve with the ever-changing landscape of SEO. Right now, AI is emerging, everyone's really getting involved with it, but who's to say in 5 or 10 years there's not something else that your team has to adapt to? But a lot of SEOs think that using AI at all is going to be toxic for your website, despite what Google says. There's actually a lot of paranoia in the SEO industry in regard to AI. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think, like anything else, it really takes a methodical, nuanced touch when you use AI to assist with your content efforts. But I'm really curious to hear what everyone else thinks. Please let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I'd love to have a conversation with you about this.